Next, we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, for a personal injury case. The plaintiff, 19-year-old Ty Cirillo, is suing a delivery driver and a fast food chain for their alleged involvement in a serious traffic accident. According to the police report, the delivery driver was making a left turn and failed to yield to Cirillo, who was riding a motorcycle. Cirillo suffered severe injuries, including a crushed pelvis and fractured back, that left him unlikely to ever walk again. Now, Cirillo's seeking $48 million in damages. But first, his lawyer, Robert Eglett, has to defend his client's own driving. He argues that specific language used by a witness to describe his client's driving prior to the accident is overly prejudicial.
Driving like a, I'm going to say it if it's okay with the court, okay? I mean, I want a record to be clear here.
No, because if it comes in, it's going to be in whichever.
Driving like an okay, what does that mean? No one knows what that means. He should be testifying of what he observed and what he heard about his senses, not his internal thinking.
Eglett then tries to break down the various ways the A word could potentially be interpreted.
And means different things to different people. Judge, driving like an but to members of the jury, they could mean, they could grab all kinds of interpretations, have self-interpretations of what that really means. Is he talking about, well, he thought he was too close to him when he passed him, so he thought he was an for doing that?
To further emphasize his point, the attorney swears by a personal story.
Look, the neighborhood that I grew up here in Las Vegas, as kids, look, our vernacular, we use the word in every sentence, and everybody did in the neighborhood. And somebody could say, he's driving like a motherfucker. Well, that doesn't mean anything.
And if the point wasn't clear enough yet,
you know, you could say he's driving like a motherfucker, he's driving like a What does that mean? And the same thing. It's a characterization. It's his own personal, I think he's That's what it means. He perceives him as being an asshole, and that is a characterization, and it's entirely improper, and it's unnecessary for him to testify about what he saw and heard, which is what he should be testifying, not making value judgments that, in his opinion, somebody's driving like an
The witness's foul-mouthed description of the plaintiff's driving ultimately wouldn't have an impact on the outcome of the case. 3 weeks into trial, the franchise settled out of court with Ty Cirillo for an undisclosed amount. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss a new video and catch full episodes on aetv.com.